So the SBA 504 Green Loan Program is one that started in the Obama administration in 2012. And the purpose of this was to have the Small Business Administration make capital available to borrowers at a significantly lower rate than the private marketplace with 15, 20, 25-year terms. So it's incentivizing businesses to grow while using government capital at low interest rates. And the program is predicated on also utilization of renewable energy, incorporating that into the projects. So this is an excellent program because it allows borrowers, small companies, if they want to buy a building or to renovate an existing building, it allows them the ability to increase their debenture, the money that they can borrow from the SBA. Oftentimes, these clients have a cap in terms of the amount of money they can borrow through the SBA. And then they feel trapped because they want to grow their business. They want to buy more buildings. They want to do more renovations, but they've run out of money. They don't have access to capital. And then know that in the public-private market, the interest rates are too high. So with the Green Loan Program, the SBA 504 Green Loan Program was set up to enable these borrowers to double the amount of money they can borrow if they're willing to incorporate renewable energy into their project. So that seems like a daunting thing. I'm an owner, I don't know anything about renewable energy. It sounds like a great idea, but how am I going to get paid back? And how do I do this? How do I incorporate this into my project? I don't know anything about it. So the first thing they'll do is they'll go to their lender that they've borrowed from in the past. There are companies like Somercore, for example, in Illinois, which does a tremendous job at providing these loans. But there's two components to an SBA 504 Green Loan. The first are the loan documents themselves. The lender can help the client to understand whether they're eligible for this loan. But the second component is an energy study. So if you're going to buy a building or you're going to renovate a building, the SBA wants to know what is the energy use in this building and how do we determine what that 15% energy is that will be produced by renewable energy? And what type of system can we use? Is it solar? Is it geothermal? Is it wind? Is it tidal? There are a number of technologies that can be utilized. The bankers and the owners typically don't know what these systems are or how to utilize them. That's where INBalance comes in. We're experts at renewable energy, and we're experts at facility improvements and facility optimization. And as such, we partner with the banks. And we serve just as the banker does as the client's advocate in helping them to obtain this green loan. So we will prepare an energy assessment as part of the loan package, and it will go in with the loan documents and enable the client to obtain the loan or the additional debenture that they're looking for. So there are different components of this. Typically, the assessment takes about 2 weeks to produce. And what's key here and what differentiates INBalance from any other service provider is that oftentimes the client says, well, how much is the system going to cost me? They don't necessarily want to engage into this green loan program not knowing how much it's going to cost them or how much they're borrowing to create this 15% system. So what we do, which is a key differentiator, is we will talk to the banker's client on the front end, and we will do a financial analysis before we're even hired. So as a business courtesy, we will conduct the financials and show the client what the system size will be, what the system cost will be, and the incentives that they can utilize to offset the capital cost. So in one example, as I described earlier, the project might be a $100,000 project, which might be daunting to the client, but we can also demonstrate to the client that we can offset those capital costs through a 30% deduction from the federal government on your taxes in that year. If you use American products, you get a 40% deduction. So literally on a $100,000 project, which is funded through the Green Loan Program, $40,000 of that is deducted from your federal taxes in the very first year. Then you can depreciate the project over 5 years. Typically, buildings are depreciated over 18 years. So these are the types of nuanced little details that the client and the banker are not aware of. that sweeten the deal and make it viable. And that's the key, is to help the client understand on the very front end what their total cost will be, what their exposure will be, so that they can make solid business decisions and move into this type of loan. So that's the differentiator that we offer.